In the heart of a small, forgotten town named Willow Brook, there lay an ancient graveyard. It was no ordinary graveyard. It was a place where darkness crept in, and the shadows whispered the secrets of the long-departed souls. The townsfolk avoided it at all costs, but curiosity lured the young and brave to explore the mysteries that shrouded the cemetery. On a moonless night, Sarah, a fearless young woman with an insatiable thirst for adventure, decided to venture into the graveyard. She had heard stories from the elders about eerie sightings and strange occurrences, but she was determined to uncover the truth. As she pushed open the rusted iron gate, it creaked ominously like a mournful wail. The tombstones stood like sentinels in the moonlight, casting long, haunting shadows. Sarah could feel the weight of history, and her heart raced as she walked further into the graveyard. She paused by a particularly weathered tombstone, its inscription barely legible. As she leaned in to read, a cold gust of wind swept through her, making her shiver. She turned to leave, but it felt like an invisible force held her back. Panic began to set in. Whispers began to fill the air as if the very ground was speaking to her. Sarah couldn't make out the words, but the voices grew louder, a chorus of lamenting souls. She stumbled back, tripping over a moss-covered gravestone. It seemed as if the graveyard itself had come alive. Suddenly, the ground beneath her feet seemed to shift, and skeletal hands emerged from the earth, grabbing at her ankles. She screamed, struggling to break free, but the hands tightened their grip. Panic turned to sheer terror as the corpses of the long dead clawed their way out of their graves. Sarah found herself surrounded by a legion of the undead, their hollow eyes fixed on her with an insatiable hunger. Their rotting flesh and tattered burial clothes told the tale of a gruesome demise. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and the unearthly moans filled her ears. Desperation fueled Sarah's fight for survival. She managed to free herself from the grasping hands and sprinted through the graveyard, with the undead close behind. The once silent night echoed with the terrifying cacophony of her pursuers. In her panicked flight, Sarah stumbled upon an old, dilapidated chapel. She burst through the chapel doors, praying for sanctuary. But the evil that dwelled in the graveyard was not so easily defeated. The chapel's interior was a scene of macabre horror, with candles flickering in sconces and eerie symbols etched onto the walls. Sarah knew she had to find a way to break the curse. With trembling hands, she searched for answers in the ancient tomes scattered around the chapel. She discovered a ritual that could lay the restless spirits to rest. Gathering the necessary items, she recited the incantation, and a blinding light enveloped the chapel. The unearthly moans and the pursuing undead fell silent. Sarah emerged from the chapel, the graveyard now quiet, its cursed souls finally at peace. She had survived the horrors of Willowbrook's haunted graveyard, but the memories of that night would haunt her for the rest of her days. The townsfolk would never venture near the graveyard again, but the legend of Sarah, the fearless adventurer who had tamed the haunted souls, would be whispered for generations to come, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked in the heart of Willowbrook. If you liked the story, don't forget to like and subscribe.